Okay, last part of financial math. Budgeting. The best way to prevent yourself from spending more than you gain. It's on page 26. Is to create a budget so you know where are you spending your money and whether or not you can do something, like you want to go do something fun, like do I have money to do that or is that going to cause me problems? Okay, so we need to create a budget, okay? And when we talk about income, that's money coming in. It's incoming. Income. So that's where you get your wages, any bonuses, anything you earn from interest that you have in a bank account or investments. And then that's how much money you have to spend. But unfortunately, you have expenses as well. So what you're doing with a budget is looking at our income and expenses. So expenses, that you gotta pay rent, you have to pay food, you have to decide, do I deserve some entertainment? Want to have some fun, that's gonna cost some money.
Unless you're their older sisters, then you can't.
Right,
No fun.
no fun,
No fun, but actually,
right?
never give me a ride.
I'm still bringing other cars.
And two types of expenses. You have your fixed expenses. These are non-negotiable. You need to eat. You need to buy food. You need to pay your rent. You have to pay your water bill, your heating bill, otherwise they turn it off. If you have loans, you have payments, you have to pay those. So we look at all of those things that are fixed expenses. Those you have to do. Then if you had money left after that, then you can look at some discretionary expenses, right? Can I go out and go to the movies, go to a sports game, buy some fancier things, right? So sometimes things like clothes is kind of in between fixed and discretionary. Yes, you need clothes. Very bad to go to a job interview without.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the problem.
Could most likely not get the job. But do you need $8,000 shoes when you walk into that interview?
You need Jimmy Choos.
Hacía una pregunta, ¿y cómo, en cuánto te pagarían por un tiempo trabajar en Dollarama?
No sé.
Pero como cuánto te podría pensar?
¿Para comprar qué en Dollarama?
No,
Un dólar.
al trabajar en Dollarama.
Oh. Minimum wage.
¿Qué?
He's coming home.
Si está trabajando en Dollarama, va a ganar como $16.
$16 por hora.
Yo creo.
Ay, todavía.
All right, what's minimum wage right now?
$15.
15?
Higher.
16.
Is it 16? So if you worked at Dollarama, you would make $16 an hour.
¿Qué? 16.
16.
I don't know exactly what minimum wage is anymore. Is it 16 even?
It's probably, we can look it up.
Evo. You going to working?
Yeah, sure, we look it up. Right now.
What?
I'm not working at all.
What?
Okay. Some interesting things about budgeting. Right? Even people you think that have so much money in the world. Look at this article. 60% of professional basketball players go broke within the first 5 years of departing the NBA.
I don't get it.
Do you know what broke is?
Yeah.
They're completely out of money and have nothing left. They're no longer,
Serious stat.
that is according to a CNBC news article from 2018.
Oh my god.
They average 8.25 million a year. But they get used to a lifestyle with a huge amount of discretionary spending. And they keep that lifestyle going after they're done. And now they're no longer having money coming in. And before they realize it, they have spent all of their money. All that basketball player needed to do was one bank account that pays 3% interest, put their money in there, and say, now that I've quit playing basketball, I have a retirement fund of $100,000 a year. But I can only spend $100,000. And the problem is they got used to spending a lot of money while they were playing. And also a problem that happens in pro sports. Okay, problem that happens in pro sports is the players that are not making are making below average are watching the superstars spend the money. And they're like, I want to be like them. I'm in the same crowd. I'm doing the same things, and they spend more than they have, even though they're making tons of money. Yes.
And also the football players, head injuries problems.
There we got injuries in football players here. 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or under financial stress just 2 years after retirement. So is budgeting important? Not only for minions like us that aren't making tons of money, who need to, in some ways, budgeting is more important for them because they feel like I made so much money.
Is that saying that the NBA salary is 6 million more, or almost 6 million more
On average.
So yeah,
than an NFL?
But this is 2021, that's 2017. But still,
I thought the NFL was the
What's that?
higher-
Can you go back one slide?
Yeah.
I think soccer pays the highest, like
Soccer.
and then basketball.
problem
Not on
Problem with-
average.
problem with football, okay, compared to basketball. As far as being able to pay people. How many football games are there a year in the NFL? What's a season? Does anybody know how many games in a season of football? I think it's 18. And
That's it.
they play once a week. They only get revenue from a game once a week. They only get TV revenue from a game once a week. How many basketball games are there in a season? 82.
82.
Right? So they can afford, look at baseball, 162. That many more people coming into a stadium, that many more people watching on TV, that many more ads. So they can pay their players according to the revenues coming in. Right? Hockey, 82 games, but you're smaller stadium because it has to be enclosed, so you lose some money there.
Right.
Soccer, outside, bigger stadiums. Not as many games, but you're still at like around 40.
Right.
And soccer has the worldwide TV audience.
Yeah.
Right? So now you've got that much more from TV. Okay? Right? During my 16-year NBA career, this is a quote from one player. I saw newly retired teammates lose everything to financial schemes and scams, dishonest or unqualified advisors, reckless spending on only a few years after leaving the league. Okay? And if you are a high-level basketball player, you're like, I don't have to pay attention to my high school math class. I don't need this. I'm going to be making millions. I'm going to be laughing at my teacher. Right? But you still need to know how to manage your money. Because even super rich can go down quickly without being careful and thoughtful. And so what? What is a basic budget? This is one of a basic budget for Max. He's in first year university. He's working at Sport Check. Here's his pay stub. Woo-hoo! Got $1,146.99.
For 84 hours.
Matthew, for 84 hours though.
84 hours.
That's 4 hours OT.
Okay? He's getting paid $17 an hour. 84 hours, this would probably be over, this might be a monthly one, who knows, this might be, he might put his month in there, he might have put, I'm not sure how long a period this was. No, it is a month. So his check for the month should have been 1428. But just like I showed you with my pay stub, he had things taken off. Income tax, EI, CPP. And so he was able to deposit $1,146.99. That's how much Max has available to spend every month.
SGR.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces, por trabajar en cada una hora en dólar, ambos te pagarán $16.
Mm-hmm.
Eso es como mucho, ¿no?
It is the rule, es la regla en Manitoba, que tiene que pagar el mínimo de $16. Cualquier trabajo,
En serio.
en serio.
Y es mucho dinero 16.
Sí y no. Right? Is $16 an hour a lot of money? Yes, right? Like if I paid you guys each $16 to pay more attention to my class, you'd be like, yeah, this is a good job. Can I go to math class all day? You'd be like, I don't want to go to the other classes. They don't pay me
They're
enough.
not paying.
Raise it up to
Right.
Raise up to 20 on full draw.
he's like, I'm not, he'd still skip math class. At 16, it's gotta be $20 to make him pay for it.
Exactly.
So yes, it's a good wage, but it depends where you're at. If you're in high school, where are you living? Probably at home. Do you have to pay rent? No. Who makes your meals? Probably someone at your home. Do you have to do the grocery shopping and pay for it? No. So then you're $16 an hour. If you are in high school and you're max, of this 1146, you have very few fixed expenses. But if you are, right, a single dad or a single mom living on your own, you have to pay rent. You have to make meals not only for yourself but for your family. You have nobody else bringing money in. $16 an hour. Every month, your fixed expenses will be bigger than what you're bringing in. And then $16 an hour isn't enough. And that's where a lot of people really struggle, is because if they don't have the experience or the school to get a job better than minimum wage, and they have all these expenses, they're in a stressful situation. But for you, at your age right now, getting a summer job, getting $16 an hour, that's awesome.
SGR.
Yeah.
Y como cuánta, y es verdad que va a pasar mi turno y no podré trabajar en más de una hora porque voy a cambiar de turno con otra persona.
But if you want a job, you have to get your English better, right? That's going to be a key thing. You're gonna be like, you need to communicate with customers, but you could get maybe a job that doesn't have that communication part, but it might not be a job that you like as much. So definitely, right? Grade 9, 10, you can start looking for jobs and get some extra money. Here is Max's expenses. He has to pay $500 for rent, $250 for food. He wants to have some fun, so he spends about $100 a month on entertainment. He's got to take the bus to go to and from university, so he pays $50 for transportation. How much money does he have left over each month? And what do you think he should do? So here's his income. Here are his expenses. This is what a budget looks like. You've got your total income and your total expenses. When you subtract those, he still has an extra $246 left at the end of the month. Should you save or should you spend? Right? So now here's the mindset. Some people are like, I have $246. I'm going to do something more fun this month because I have that money. Some people are like, I want to save things up. Maybe right, we talked about that. I put it away into an account. Maybe I'm saving up for my first house.
What do you wanna invest in?
What if he wants to invest it, right? If he took this $250 and he invested it into that first home savings account that we talked about yesterday, the government would actually give him some of this $185 back. That's not a bad idea. But then he never has that. Sometimes people like to save it into a tax-free savings account. The nice thing about tax-free savings account, you don't pay any taxes on the money you make on that, which could be good. But if all of a sudden Max finds out, I was working at the Sport Check in Unicity. Does anybody remember the Sport Check in Unicity? What happened to it?
I don't know why it was,
But it closed.
it closed, yeah.
So now Max is out of a job. He might need to save money. If he loses his Sport Check job, do these expenses go away? Which of those expenses could go away? Entertainment. Right, no more fun for you. But he still has to pay his rent. Unless it's really nice out and he just wants to sleep on the street. Right? Still has to pay for food. Still has to pay to get to university so that hopefully he can get a job that pays more later on. Because his $16 an hour, he's like, someday I might want my own house, I might want my own family, then I'll need more money to pay all of my fixed expenses.
Pues ya, ahora mismo tengo 15 años, entonces el siguiente año podré trabajar.
Is there a certain age you have to be to work?
No.
No?
I think
You have to have a signature.
From a parent?
From a parent,
Okay.
and then technically yes, technically no, like it's a gray area.
Yeah.
It's 16 if you wanna work past 10 PM or something.
Okay.
You have to be 16.
Tiene que ser 16 años si quiere trabajar après de 10 de la noche.
¿A las qué?
Si quieres hacer trabajando más tarde de 10 de la noche, tiene que tener el mínimo de 16 años. Pero para otro trabajo puedes tener 15 años. No.
Investigar.
Ya.
Entonces, cuando estaba 16 puedo trabajar hasta 8 horas.
Ya, tú puedes hacer.
Again,
Yeah.
but it's circumstantial.
Here's Arthur. Arthur's got a better job than Max. Maybe Arthur isn't in university anymore. He's pulling in $2,100 per month. And the nice thing about most jobs is they do take their taxes off. And tax season is happy for a lot of people because when you do your taxes, you get money back. They got money back? See? Can be good for a lot of people. Because generally, the government is strategic. They take off more than they should so that you do your taxes and then get money back. Total expenses, though, Arthur is a little bit more of a spender. Right? He doesn't take the bus. He's got a car payment. He's also has to pay insurance. He's got his cell phone. I'm pretty sure Max would have had a cell phone bill too. We should have probably included it. His food is more expensive because he makes more money. He does more entertainment. He's got a bigger gym membership. He's renting a much nicer place. Or maybe he just doesn't like roommates. Right? Max was smart, got a roommate. That way they could split the rent. And so you look at Arthur and you look at Max and you go, Arthur's making more money. Things should be better for him. But his expenses end up being bigger than what he's bringing in. This is where the budget's important. This is where those basketball players didn't look at that. They just kept overspending. And then they probably felt like, oh, I have an image to uphold. This is what people think I am. I can't undo that. And all of a sudden it's really bad. Don't have that so much at schools, right? There's no like, oh, look at that flashy teacher.
Yeah. Maybe Lockhart, no.
Oh, he's got his hair done.
Yeah, exactly. Dry eyes are real bad today.
Uh-oh. So do you guys see how this might be helpful? Like for you right now, what do you have for expenses? Some food, because sometimes you go out and buy some food, right? The odd time you'd be like, Mom made me lunch. I'm like, I'm going to the cafeteria. Or even your lunch is okay and you're like, well, but it's Friday, it's poutine day. I like that poutine. So sometimes you spend money on food. You guys are spending money on entertainment. Do you have to pay for your own cell phone?
No.
No? Some of you no, some of you yes. Right? Lots of parents have cell phone plans that are built in, so then they're paying for cell phones. And then you have to figure out when you stop that.
With the my boys, I don't know, like,
Are you still paying for your boys?
yeah.
Or Eric's getting cut off this year, 21. We're like, can we pay for you?
Yeah, that's right.
They're like,
We
you're an
won't-
adult already, so like, do it.
We won't do it till he's done school,
Okay.
so that'll be like 20.
But then you do, what happens if the other ones finish school early? Does he get cut off early? Or are you gonna do the 23 no matter
I
what?
know.
Right? Those are hard things to do
Stop.
is to figure out as parents. And you tried it, you wanna be fair, you wanna be equal, but
But if Kyle's working after 2 years at Red River,
yeah.
I feel like how, what's it doing if he doesn't pay for his own
There
place?
you go. So we'll see.
Just pick, you want me to pick a favorite?
What would you adjust? What would you adjust for Arthur? What are some of the things you think he could cut down on?
Entertainment.
Entertainment? Maybe cut his entertainment down? Right, because right now, we do that, it comes out perfectly even.
You could argue gym membership because
Nathan.
that's a healthy thing,
Right, but you can do
but you can
healthy
do
things
things
for free,
For free,
right?
Like you go work out at home.
Like
you can, yeah,
Mr. Shirk did a healthy thing just a while ago. He shared half his donut with me.
exactly.
I don't know if it's healthy.
Nathan, were you fasting?
Well.
A little less donuts for this guy. Reduced his discretionary expenses.
So we reduced the entertainment here. We, like you said, we could also cut out this. I think Arthur should be looking at saving some money because life
One thing.
will give you expenses that you do not expect. Okay? There will be things in life where you make money that you're not expecting either. But I will tell you the unexpected expenses is a more likely life experience than making more money than you expected.
Yeah,
Right? So the making more money that you expected could fall under like getting your tax return. You're like, oh, it's more than I thought it would be. But more often you're like, oh, I didn't realize my car was going to get a flat tire. I didn't realize it wasn't my fault, but now I have an accident and I have to pay the deductible for my insurance. I didn't expect that.
Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Most. Like a good chunk of
Mhm.
people live paycheck to paycheck.
So
I,
do you guys understand what Mr. Shirk means when he says you live paycheck to
Yeah.
paycheck?
Yeah.
Means that you are out of money,
by the time,
the paycheck comes in, and now the money goes soup, 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 soup. Just got enough to do what I have, and I'm going to run out of money again before my next paycheck.
and with that being said, I'm the only one in my pretty much family that doesn't work paycheck to paycheck. And I do not make more than roughly half of the family that I have in mind. But I'm the only one who budgets.
Yeah.
Right. So like just the same thing, right? Arthur's making more money. You think he should be perfectly fine. He's in a worse financial situation than Max.
Yeah. Una pregunta, ¿y cómo me van a transferir el dinero?
¿Cómo van a qué?
A transferirme el dinero a dar, ¿no?
Del trabajo a ti or cómo?
El trabajo me pasa los $16 a mí.
Yeah. So he's asking if you do work, how does your job pay you? Okay? So some jobs will ask for your bank account. Algunos trabajos van a decir que es su account de banco.
Del banco,
Mm-hmm.
mi cuenta de banco.
Sí. And they'll put it directly into your bank account. Other ones will give you an actual check. They'll be like, here's your paycheck. Because there's an actual piece of paper, then you have to go to the bank. Most people like the direct deposit because they don't want to have to take this and go to the bank and do
I
something.
can't imagine what it's like to get a paycheck anymore.
Hmm.
Do they even, are places, do they exist?
Oh, sure they do, yeah. Like if you're working for a little, like a little corner store, mom and pop shop, they might not have the system all set up for direct deposit. Maybe they send you an e-transfer. That could be another options. Lots of businesses like the electronic way because then they have it documented. Because if I'm a business, expenses are good for me to have on file because then I don't pay taxes on my expenses. I only pay taxes on the money that I make. Got a 10% raise,
We should do that.
but his expenses increased by 3%. So if I wanted a 10% raise, I have to figure out how much he's gonna have now. A 3% on expenses, he's now making $147 more per month. Question.
When you get like a paycheck and then you go to the bank, will they like tax it or something?
The taxes would be done prior to you getting the paycheck. So the government doesn't trust giving you $2,000 and say, they don't trust your boss giving you $2,000 and then you immediately giving them $200. Because if people work paycheck to paycheck, if their paycheck is $800, they spend it all. If it's $1,000, they spend it all. And they would have nothing left and then a tax time. So the government makes it the law that the employer has to pay the taxes directly before it gets to you. So I owe you $1,000, you owe the government $200. They make me give the $200 because they're like, if you get that extra $200, it might be gone before I know it.
So the number on the paycheck is after those deductions.
Just like here with this
How much
is
you actually get.
right.
That's called net pay.
This is Max. It says John Smith, but it should say Max Smith. There's his paycheck, but he got this pay stub, and already the things that the government needed had to be taken off by the person you're working for. Now, technically, I think it's around $18,000. The first $17,000 you make, you do not pay any taxes on.
First what?
First $17,000 you make in a year,
Might be
you do not pay taxes. That's why, for the most part, they don't get people under 18 to even do taxes. Cause you're in school, if you have a part-time job, are you making more than $17,000 in a year? Probably not. So you could do your taxes, but it wouldn't matter. However, if you've got a part-time job and you notice on your pay stub that taxes are taken off, then you are eligible for a refund. Because they take the way they figure out how much taxes to take off. So for Max here at 1428, I take the 1428, I times it by 12, and they assume whatever you make in 1 month, you will keep doing that all year. So Max is making just over the threshold that would have to pay taxes. And since he's making just over that threshold, they'll say, hey, you have to pay taxes. And they'll always charge you a little bit more to encourage you to do your taxes at the end of the year. Because if you don't, they get to keep the money until you do.
How do you do your taxes?
Yeah.
There's a couple of ways of doing taxes. Just wait. You can, like, there's programs you can buy. I buy a program, it costs me, it's a computer program, it costs me like $50. I put all the numbers in, it does all the calculations for me, I just need to put the numbers in the right spots. And then it tells me how much tax refund I'm getting or not.
Yeah.
You can go to like, there's place, I don't even see the guy with the red maple leaf, Liberty Tax guy on the street. Dancing.
Block.
There's lots of little tax places around that have accountants. And instead of paying $50 for the program, you can pay them $100 or $150 and they'll do it for you. It's a little bit more expensive than doing it yourself, but now you just have to give the papers to them. They do all the work.
What papers?
The papers that you would get at the end of working, at the end of the year, the government sends out papers that show you how much you've got paid for the whole year. One of them is called a T4. So you work for a grocery store, you're working for Food Fair or something like that. Food Fair at the end of the year says, here is your T4 slip. And that would say how much money you got paid, how much taxes was taken off, all the information you need to do for taxes. You send that information to the government, and then the government gives you your refund or tells you you have to pay more.
Yeah. Y si no tengo cuenta de banco, ¿qué puedo hacer para que me paguen?
If you don't have a bank account, sometimes they'll say that's a requirement for working at certain businesses. You might have to get one,
Probably.
okay? Because they say, sorry, all we do is direct deposit. If you don't have that, we can't pay you. Go get a bank account. So you might need to get a bank account. But then some businesses will just pay you with a check. Some businesses pay you cash, right? You go cut the lawn for your neighbor. They're not gonna be like, what's your direct deposit bank information? They're just gonna give you $20, $40, thank you for cutting my lawn. A lot of businesses like that kind of, some businesses do things that are evading taxes that way, right? If I get cash for my job, nobody knows that I did this job. So I'm not gonna pay taxes on that. I'll just pretend I just got the money for free.
Wait,
So that is,
I found the money in a bag.
wait, so Mr. J, what if like you're 18 and you're like cutting your neighbor's lawn, they give you like $100 and the government doesn't know about it?
if you're doing an odd job like cutting lawn for your neighbor, the government knows lots of people do things like that and they're like, it's okay that you're not paying taxes on this. But anytime you're part of a legitimate business that's paying you an hourly wage,
They want their money.
they want their money.
Basically, if you have to go to a place, like a workplace, you have to pay taxes, but if
Yeah.
But that's where,
but
again,
if you're offering to do it yourself and you're not part of anything,
Then you're probably not gonna pay taxes. And you're probably not going to do that often enough that you're making a ton of money. But I have a former student who started a lawn care business while he was in high school. It's grown into a full-fledged landscaping company now. But there would have been a time where all of his money would have been cash, and he would have not needed to do any of that. Then he got to the point where he was so big that he was hiring people. And then he had to decide, do I want to still do all of this just with cash? Or do I have to, right,
up it.
up it? And now he's a full-fledged big business, property management, landscaping, and he's made it his career. So he never had to go to university.
Do I know this person?
JJ Ross.
Oh. Like, St. James.
No, that's not JJ. Sorry, J Ross. Just one.
Okay.
There we go. No, not the same James Jack. Sorry. James Ross, property management, former student of mine, doing very well, I think.
does that mean you could possibly get a discount?
I could possibly
Hey,
get a
remember
discount.
me, I was your teacher
That's
in
right.
high school.
Can go
I
either
get a
way.
discount.
I could go either way. I can see some students go, hey, I was your student. Yeah, my special rate is actually $50 more than I normally charge.
Exactly.
Thanks for teaching me math. You taught me that this is a good strategy.
That's Chloe.
She's already like, what can I do? So creating a budget, okay? We're gonna create a budget for Cal. We're gonna take all the information that he has. So these questions involve some reading. You have to read a bunch of stuff and decide what's in the income part, what's in the expenses part. So, graduated from high school, works full-time at McDonald's, earns $700 a week. He's moved out of home to live with his older brother, splitting the $800 of rent between the two of them. He spends $100 a week on food for his meals because he gets some good discounts at McDonald's. He's a really healthy guy. $20 on dining out, and also $50 a week on entertainment. He owns a car, which he has to pay annual expenses of $300 for the registration, $1,500 for insurance, costs him about $200 for maintenance, and gas costs $30. This question was made a while ago. His gas costs would probably be $60. He pays $150 a month for his phone and internet, and he has to pay for the electricity and water bills, which are $40 and $20 a month. So you've got a lot of information. Can you see at this moment, you read this, and can you tell me, is Cal in good economic shape or bad economic shape? Is he doing fine?
I think so.
We think so, but we don't know, right? Just like before with Max and Arthur, Arthur's making more money. He's living a higher life. You would think he would be in better economic shape, but actually Max was in better economic shape. So what do? We look at creating our budget here. You split it up. On one side you have income. That's the easy part. Okay? What are we doing? We are looking at a weekly budget. Because we know that he made, this is month. Okay? This is not weekly. This is actually, I have it. Let's change that word on your thing because we have a monthly budget here, not a weekly budget. Okay? How much does he pay in rent per month? How much does he pay in groceries per month?
Yeah.
So a lot of these things we had per week. This one actually is a mistake. This should be 900. We have to take off $400.
Wait,
His rent is half of 1,800, so that's 900. About 400. I would use 4 weeks in a month, but this is fine. 400 a week on groceries. Yeah, some of these numbers are actually based on the thing. Okay, if we're doing 4.3 weeks in a month, the groceries, which was 100, should be 430. We're gonna have to do some changes here. Dining out was $20 a week times by 4.3. That number should be 86. Spends $50 a week on entertainment. 50 times 4.3. Is 215. He spent $30 on gas a week. 30 times 4.3. This number should have been $129.
I was just gonna say 130.
All right, his phone and internet were per month, so that one stays 150. Electricity per month was 40. He didn't, electricity and water bills, so water was included in that 40. So we can change that one to 0.
Mr. Lo de $40 está mal, son 60 en mi casa. En vez pagamos por mes en $60, no son 40. Eso está mal.
But it says here he pays electricity $40 a month. Oh no, it is 40 and the water is, it says 40 and 20 respectively. So this one actually is 20, not 30. There's some mistakes on here. And then his car, it says his car annual expenses, if you add that up, is $2,000. We have to divide that by 12 because his car is 1,500, 300, and 200, 2,000 total, right, Mr. Shirt?
I don't have.
Oh, you don't have the paper with you. Yeah, so 2,000 divided by 12, this one is actually 166.67. And
But I could still get my calculator out.
Base de $67.
What can you $67?
Yeah, I have it.
You have $67 you want.
Yeah, I have it.
And this actually is
Why?
3,010. So we have some numbers here that aren't quite right. We've corrected them there. We'll go, you wanna add up that expenses column to see what the total should have been?
What's the last one?
166.67. We're gonna figure out, now that we got the new numbers, what his total expenses actually are. And I don't think he's,
Not exactly. One above 5,000.
we'll take that out because it doesn't say anywhere in the thing that he's putting money away in savings, does it? He's not actually putting any money away in savings according to the paragraph. So you take all the information you have, how much are his expenses?
2136.
21, 36, and 67. So based on his income and based on his expenses, is he doing fine?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's doing really well, actually. At the end of the month, he has $900. that means he could save $900 times 12, almost $10,000 a year. In 6 years, he might have saved enough to buy a house. Which is still like, he's doing a really good job, but it still would take him 6 years before he could even think of buying a house.
That and you probably quit it so you can get a better job after
Okay.
university.
Yeah, and he might eventually say, I think I could do better than the McDonald's job. The McDonald's job isn't bad. Like,
Well, it depends on if you've been there a little while and you're like a manager.
yeah, he would probably be getting a salary between $40,000 and $50,000 a year.
If I'm a manager,
Which is more than me.
if I'm a manager, can I still work a different job? If I'm a manager?
If you're a manager,
Uh, it's tough.
Or what if I'm a CEO? Can I still work like another job on top of?
and you can still mow my lawn, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pay you $20.
No, like say I become a pilot, I'm also a CEO. Can I do that? Is that possible?
It can be, but the problem is if you spread yourselves too thin in jobs, it might be that you don't do well enough in a job and you get fired from one of those.
How can
Or
you get
both.
fired by a CEO by being a CEO?
CEOs get fired because there's the company,
There's a board.
there's a board that makes sure that the CEO isn't screwing over the company, because there's a lot of investors who are interested in that company. So even though there's a CEO of Google, there's a lot of people that have invested in Google that want to make money from Google, and if the CEO starts doing stuff that they feel is going to get them in trouble, or is going to make them lose money, or they have reports that you lost money in the last quarter, just like the head coach of a sports team, they could get fired.
So what if I become like the CEO of like 3 different companies and I spend like 2 hours at each? I'm spending like 6 hours
Yeah.
and I'm getting probably a ton of money because it's spread out across 3 different companies. Can I do that?
You can, if you can get there,
Because that's like
you
two
can do
different-
that. Like, I could quickly right now, just over lunch, make 3 different companies, and I could be the CEO of all 3 of them. None of them are making any money.
No, I get that, but like say I work like all of those jobs. Like I work one job, get to the top, then work another job, get to the top, and then what if I do
Like, you
Theoret-
again,
just theoretically.
theoretically, those are all possible, right? What does the CEO of, could you be a CEO of 3 companies? When companies get this big and you're the CEO and you say, our company should eat up this other company, now those 2 companies come together, now I'm the CEO of both of them. Usually you still have just one job, but you ate multiple companies and now are part of them.
I can tell you in my time, in my lifetime so far, there was a stretch of 2 years where I worked 3 jobs. Home Depot, H. Paulins, and the Bay.
Okay?
Why did I?
Yeah.
Because I found out at 19 that I was going to be a dad.
Oh.
So I was terrified. And I got 3 jobs. I was already working at Home Depot. I was working full time. I then picked up the Bay
Excuse me.
and I got that part time, but then I turned that full time. I was working 2 full time jobs. People would say that's not possible. Well, I did it. And I also worked 7 days a week for 2.5 years, and I saved enough for not only some cushion, but paid for my college altogether in Canada
Nice.
for what I'm doing now.
Okay.
So that was that. And I can tell you, I probably aged 5 years in that 2 years. And it took another 2 years to recover from how tired I was, I think. Cause there were times, like I did it when my oldest son was born for another almost year. So it was like a year before and a year into his birth. And then I started a year, 2 years after I was here. So